Well, it's that time of the year. This year was a movie. Truth be told, I feel like this has got to be the most fever dream year since 2020. Like, if we're closer to World War III than GTA 6, then we gotta start fixing stuff instead of twiddling our thumbs and going to Twitter or X or whatever to start shit. Society as a whole has really got me scratching my head at where it all went batshit crazy. In my opinion, the most memorable thing about 2024 was all the dudes who got canned. For real, it was starting to feel like a villain of the week type deal. We got Dr. Disrespect, Ava Chris Tyson, Drake, Conor McGregor, all these influencers slash celebrity people getting called out, and rightly so. Society's only as good as how it administers justice. Diddy's out here like the 2024 main antagonist. Every couple days I check what's going on for him, and I swear it's like a new dozen cases every time I do. I don't know if it's just me, but I swear I did not know who this guy was until like 2022, and to this day I don't know any of his songs off the top of my head or what he's even produced. For a guy who's always been semi-relevant in pop culture, I thought I'd catch wind of him because of all the references, but I guess I've just been blind up until now. He's even throwing Jay-Z under the bus now because of some no-no stuff they allegedly did 2 decades ago. So much for no diddle December, but we can always hope for a better next year. Let's make 2025 a diddle-free year. Something I also noticed this year was the handful of people desperately trying to cling onto relevancy. Jeffrey Epstein making his presence known from the fucking grave. Like, I was in a Discord call getting hyped with my friends for the list as if it was Cardi finally dropping. Oh yeah, and OJ Simpson can finally rest easy knowing his wife's murderer is in hell. We got this guy Drake really here thinking he's part of the big 3. Sorry bro, I stopped listening to your shit after 2018. I mean, if it's publicity he wanted, he definitely got it after Kendrick rocked his shit. You know who I think are the big 3? The gentleman behind Lunchley, KSI, Logan Paul, and the man behind it all, Mr. Jimmy Beast. Is it an understatement if I think that these guys are doing way too much? Product placement used to mean something, but now if I ever want to start a brand, I'll just be part of the issue. At least we know Drake can easily out-rap KSI because Thick of It was worse than having cancer, and for the most part they were successful in rejuvenating their fame. Maybe all the drama was staged just to get them into the spotlight again. For an honorable mention, we got Taylor Swift's Eras Tour. By the way, if you're watching and still not subscribed to the channel, please do. We just hit 500 subs, which means I'm halfway to putting ads every 30 seconds on my videos to milk the hell out of monetization. Now that I think about it, I can't tell if the shit that went down this year could even be called normal. How did this guy survive not 1, but 2 assassination attempts? Bro's gotta be wearing bulletproof everything once he steps in office. While on the topic of assassinations, we got a conventionally attractive looking Mario brother gunning down the CEO of United Healthcare. But what's equally baffling is that people are split on the ethical dilemma. Not that I support either side, but like, isn't it crazy how the low taper fade meme is still— sorry, I don't support either side because in my opinion both are murderers. And that's only the recent stuff too. We got shit going on from the other side of the world that's been happening since way back when. I'm pretty sure after COVID, all the bad stuff just started slowly piling, but nobody realized it, as it all gradually retained, and now it's like all the shit got stacked in 1 year. Like, it's been 2 years and we still got this guy trying to annex some tiny country. Honestly, man, put the fries in the bag. The world's had enough of your silliness. The Middle East is still in shambles, and people still trying to justify a side as if their life depends on it. Like with the Ukraine and Russia shit, I think most of the world can agree that Putin's gotta chillax, but then with Gaza, you got groups of people saying that the entirety of the Palestinian population or Israeli population should be wiped out. Genuinely, how about we support not killing each other? Like, how about they both admit their wrongs and put aside who did what first, because nobody's winning that argument. Can we please make the world normal again? Vote me president, cuh. Makes me wonder if we're all in a simulation and the dudes running it got bored, so they started messing with us more than usual. Stop the bickering and protest anti-war instead of anti-whatever country. Like, I'm not normally the one to have sympathy for other human beings, but I genuinely feel bad for 83% of the population. Sorry, India. If I side with you guys, I'm gonna get eaten alive by the rest of the population. I'm kidding. After a hard year of you guys getting shit on, you deserve a seat at the table, but sit over there, okay? You know what else I want to complain about? Expressing an opinion in 2024. It's like the equivalent of coating yourself in honey and then attacking a beehive. Any mildly controversial opinion is met with some intense fucking opposition by complete randoms. Like, you could say one thing that suddenly shows support for literally anything, and people assume the worst in you. It's like the masses have seemingly adopted the "it's only free speech if I agree with it" mindset. The 75-year-old Facebooks to the 12-year-olds who shouldn't even be allowed to have Instagram. There's this mob mentality that just becomes stupider and stupider as time goes on. I personally have my reservations about certain sides, but it seriously does feel like even siding with one party gets you lumped with the absolutely worst of the worst of them. Speaking of that, it's even worse with politics. Say I don't like Trump, for example, and suddenly half the country's calling you a communist. Actually, speaking of that, I don't like Trump. I think once you've committed enough felonies, your credibility goes down. But I also don't like Kamala because in my honest opinion, I see her as a Biden sequel. But if you're mad, you gotta realize it's because you're part of the problem. It's like neither side can take any criticism for anything whatsoever. Whatever happened to respecting people's way of life? I'm gonna do a hot take here because it really emphasizes my point. I am a conservative. I love money, so I'm heavily against taxes. I'm also religious, although I could work on that. But just because I'm all these things does not mean I'm anti-liberal on everything. Where I stand on politics, irrespective of economy, is evidently left-leaning. If you ain't harming me, I honestly could care less what you do. A popular splitting point between the spectrum is the stances on religion and the lettuce, bacon, tomato community. Like, let's say you're homophobic because you think the LGBTQ is morally wrong because the Bible said so. You know what's also morally wrong? Hating and shunning people. Sure, you have every right not to conform to their way of life. Not agreeing with something doesn't mean you should hate people and try to convert them into your ideology. Just like if you don't want to be indoctrinated into their shit, don't indoctrinate them into yours. I've seen time and time again online where a gay or trans kid is being bullied and then everyone and their mom is in support of discrimination. Like, bro, freedom includes everyone, not just your side of the party. However, I also got some choice words regarding the woke left and some illogical parts of your communities. Y'all can't run an economy, at least not within the last decade. Kid named inflation. As bad as you guys want socialism, it doesn't work when you have a fifth of your population homeless. I get there's a few really bad apples on both sides of the spectrum, but that does not mean every right-winger is a racist and every left-winger is a soy boy loser. That being said, and expanding on my previous point, don't just jump to conclusions about somebody just because they support a side and it hurts your ego. Common sense really ain't common nowadays in the world of politics, but that's why one day I hope my little bit of influence can change some of y'all's minds to not hating each other. Anywho, let's go to meme review. Let's see what's likely gonna end up being a backlog for us heading into 2025. Skibidi Toilet is definitely still here to stay. Lunchly's probably gonna still be relevant. Low taper fade, still massive. I'm terrified, but also a little bit excited to see what memes are gonna surface next year. Like, who's the next kid who's gonna break the internet and go viral for saying some stupid shit? Converting everything into brain rot is still definitely gonna exist in 2025, but maybe our brains will start to heal a little bit. Yeah, there's gonna be those people who still just can't put down the cup, but if nature really takes care of itself, then we should expect some improvement. For the most part, it is our fault for engaging with that kind of content because it's become so stupid to the point where it actually became funny. We will get past this, guys. Hopefully a few people at a time realize that it's really getting old. I wasn't even in high school when the Ohio shit already started gaining traction. Fast forward to my senior year and I suddenly cringe from brain rot PTSD when I hear mentions of that forbidden place. I think everyone's noticed this, but I'll bring it up anyway. How come nobody's been saying 2025 is gonna be their year? I kid you not, I have not heard it once. Even if you don't believe it, y'all gotta fake it. Like, if society as a whole wishes to heal, then we can manifest it. I know I'm a broken record, but if we can solve one problem at a time, then that's one less problem. Aside from society and the internet, my own life's been pretty mid. I've abandoned any hope of getting a girlfriend. Just trying to make it to graduation and then I'm free forever, until I kill myself because of university. But you know, a sub and a like goes a long way, so if you give me that, then maybe you'll cure my crippling sadness. Best of luck in 2025.